All right, welcome to Kill the Clock. My name is Zaid Hadid, and here we have once again the NBA guru Ravneet Singh.
What's up? What's up?
We got the Eastern Conference Vegas odds episode coming in. Pretty big summer, lots of transactions, and I
Think
think we had the Philadelphia 76ers first. Their over under is um, they have it at 27 and a half. That's wow. Okay. That's a little high for me. Maybe I'm just so used to them getting like 8 wins a year. But uh, I'm gonna go just to start off. I'm gonna go under. I think that's really high. I mean, they won 10 games last year, so uh, yeah, I don't see them getting 17 more or 18 more in 1 year. I mean, that's insane. I don't think Ben Simmons is that good. What do you think?
he's pretty good. They also got guys like Jared Bayless, Gerald Henderson, Sergio Rodriguez. Those three guys can help them win more games this year. Um, but at the same time, I'm kind of with you. I don't see that type of improvement from this team. There are. This is one of the teams that I would recommend watching, or that I'm going to personally watch during summer league because I mean during the season on League Pass because Ben Simmons and Embiid are just going to be a lot of fun to watch, and they're going to play hard because Coach Brown has always made this team play hard. Uh, I think this team's going to improve. I don't see them winning that many games as much as Vegas is saying.
Yeah,
Um,
18 is a lot, but I forgot. Yeah, I mean, their big man's going to be fun. All their three big men, Embiid, Jaleel, and Nerlens Noel. That's a nice little trio of big men. Uh,
they kind of have too
Ju-
many
Ju-
though. They kind of have too many big men, just kind of like the Kings in a way, just way more talented.
yeah, it's true, but I mean, it's not bad. I mean, they can figure out. I mean, I don't. They can figure out who's. It's a nice trio they have to get like 32 minutes each, and you never know. Embiid's injury problems could come up and everything. So, and Nerlens Noel has been injured too, so they always have problems with injuries. So I like the little trio they have. Jaleel needs to play better offense, but I think he'll play a lot better. I mean, his offense was really good last year, but his defense has always been bad. And I think Embiid and healthy, like those two guys, Noel and Embiid, finally being healthy could help him a lot. I think those will be good, compliments to him.
It seems like they're going to have to eventually trade some of these guys. Okafor's defense worries me. I don't think he's going to be a great fit next to Simmons. The
Yeah,
best fit might be just Simmons and Embiid, but
they
even
need
that
shooters.
has its issues, huh?
They need shooters.
Yeah, exactly, and that's I think that's part of the reason they got Bayless and Henderson because those are some of the best shooters they have on their team.
Is
Um,
Darius Sarge
maybe the,
coming this year?
he is, yeah, he's gonna play for them. So
That's gonna be
um,
fun.
yeah, but there's not gonna be a lot of minutes to spread around for him.
Yeah.
So there's been talk about Ben Simmons playing at point guard, which I don't think is crazy, but I don't think you could do it for long periods of time. Apparently, Nick Stauskas, I've seen a workout video of him, and he looks stronger. Um, but again, like his value will be determined on how well he shoots the ball, because
Right.
you're right, this team needs shooting. I'm gonna go under just because this team right now is taking their proper steps, but they still have a few more trades, and they need a lot more experience before I could see this team winning more than 30 games.
I feel like Vegas is tricking us though. Like maybe the Sixers will do pretty good this year. I mean they given them an 18 game improvement. That's insane.
I think Vegas is crazy then because I don't see that happening. I think this is probably still a bottom two team in the East. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And the last year the Nets won 21 games and they were the second worst team in the West.
Mhm.
Um, I just don't. This team has a lot of youth and a lot of potential, but um, the most experienced guys on the team are going to be. I guess Elton Brand is the most experienced guy on the team. I'm surprised he's still in the
I know.
league.
I can't believe you're still playing.
Yeah, but um, yeah, this is a fun team to watch. Don't get me wrong. I just don't. I don't buy Vegas.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is a lock for me. By the way, I'm going under.
Okay. I don't know if I can go there with you yet, just because I don't know. I want to say this is insane, but sometimes Vegas outsmarts us. But we'll see. I won't go with the guarantee, but I like that. I like that you did that.
Yeah, just because I don't know. I feel like I also went too over. I went over for so many teams in the West. I gotta start going under for some of these teams in the East.
Let's see. Here's some team I'm going under on. Brooklyn Nets 20.5. Uh, they won what 22 last year. Let's see.
They
They
won
won
21 last
21.
year.
Yeah, I'm going under because I barely know their players. I don't know who their starting lineup's going to be. Other than Brooke Lopez, who's probably going to
Jeremy,
get hurt.
they got Jeremy Lin now.
Jeremy Lin. That's right. They got a crazy team. They get like Bennett, Anthony Bennett. They got Randy Foy, Luis Scola, Grievous Vasquez. This is an insane team with just a bunch of I don't know. It just seems like a bunch of nobodies to me. What I really want to see is Jefferson, Hollis Jefferson play a lot this year. I like that. That guy is one of my favorite players from the previous draft. So hopefully he'll get a lot of minutes and become a good player like he should be. But I'm gonna go under. I don't know. So they got Lynn and Brooke Lopez. Who's their 2, 3, and 4?
That's a good question. I do
They didn't
like
even have a draft pick this year.
they traded up to in the first round to get Karis LeVert, who's going to be solid, and he was going to go in the first round. People thought that was a stretch, but there were other teams that kind of wanted him.
Mhm.
So Karis LeVert is a shooter who's a 3-and-D type player. He's just had a lot of bad injuries. I don't know if he's going to start for them. I think you could see Randy Foy start for them. And then like you said, Hollis Jefferson maybe at the three. You could put Booker at the four, and then Lopez at the five. Grievous
Yeah.
Vasquez as your sixth man. I mean, it's not a great team for sure, and this is going to be a bottom two team in the East for me. But I'm actually going to go with the over. I think they won 21 games last year. How much worse can they be? They lost that young, but Jared Jack would just looked horrible as a point guard last year. Give me Jeremy Lin over them, and I think they'll win more than 21 games. I don't know if they'll win more than 25 or 26 games, but over 21, yeah.
All right, I'll see that. Uh, let's see who we got. We got the New York Knicks. That's gonna be fun to watch. Let's see here. We got them at where are they? 38 and a half.
38 and a half. Interesting.
They got
You,
they got Derrick Rose and Noah from Chicago. Uh, Derrick Rose is gonna be in a lot of this season. Uh, his
they also
accusations.
got, yeah, a lot of accusations that I think, if I don't know if the Knicks knew the severity of all that
They
stuff,
did.
but
They did. They knew that he did all that and that he's going to go through these stuff, and they still signed him. They're still got
yeah,
him.
that looks pretty. That looks like a bad decision considering how bad his case is right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that, and I also don't want that type of player in the locker room. That's a personal preference, I guess. But they also got Brandon Jennings to help with their point guard situation.
Right. Yeah,
So
I like the Jennings signing because it was pretty cheap, but 39 and a half. I mean, still got Carmelo, obviously. I like Justin Holiday, actually. I think they got him. I think he'll be good. Um, and obviously, Porzingis is going to have another year in his development. So, man, this is close. Uh, man, I'm going to go over. I think they'll get, because they won 32 last year. It's not crazy to say they'll win seven more. So, I'm gonna go over. I like Noah. I think he's had a bad year too, for injuries and just not playing well. I think he needs a new fresh place. So I think he'll play better. And also Courtney Lee. I like that player a lot. He'll be a good replacement for a follow. I think he'll be a better replacement for the type of style they're playing. So I think they have a solid team. I'm gonna go over. They'll be
I'm gonna go over
they'll,
two.
they'll be top five in the East.
Oh, go ahead. Top
I think
five in the
yeah.
East.
Yeah, I think so.
Uh, Interesting. I was gonna say I think this is a playoff team. I think they go. I'm gonna take the over. I don't know if I'm gonna go top five. I think they're their first round exit team because
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about these other teams ahead. But give me the Cavs, Raptors, Hawks, Celtics over them. So that's four. I guess I could see why you like them at the fifth spot. I haven't really decided who I had liked there, but I kind of like the Pacers better than them. Uh, but maybe
Okay.
you're right. Like I could see them around that six, seven, eight spot, and
Uh-huh.
I don't think saying that putting them at five is crazy at all. This is one of those teams where it's kind of hard to predict because it's essentially besides Porzingis and Melo, this is a completely different team. You have three different starters with Joakim, Courtney, and Derrick Rose. And there's been a lot of talk about this team, a lot of hype. Derrick Rose has said a lot of stuff comparing this team to the Warriors.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening, but I understand why, as a player, you have to have that type of
think like
mentality.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to think like that for sure. So I'm gonna take the over. I think this is a team around the sixth seed. But this is also a team that I could see just blowing up and like somehow missing the playoffs because of like the type of characters on this team.
hmm Yeah, I agree. I think that that'll be a fun team to watch too. I think they got a lot of interesting characters, and I think they'll definitely be. I mean, Porzingis is fun to watch. Carmelo's fun. Derrick Rose, hopefully he gets back to some sort of 2011 shape, uh, and then you got Joakim and Courtney Lees. So
Yeah,
it'll be good. I think it'll be fun.
yeah. Before we move on, I just want to say a couple quick things about them. I think the best lineup is actually going to be without Joakim and with Porzingis at the five, Melo at the four. I also think it's going to be best if they don't focus so much on the triangle and they run Hornacek's pick and roll type of offense, and I think it would be beneficial for Rose if they do that too. So I could honestly see one of their better lineups being with Courtney Lee. I know he's already undersized as it is, but if you put him at the three, Jennings at the two, and Rose at the one, I kind of like
They only
that
got one
lineup more.
basketball though.
Yeah, you're right. If the thing is when you have Joakim and Rose isn't he isn't a good shooter and he chucks too many threes as it is.
Mhm.
I want another shooter on the floor. Like I said in the last podcast, it's best when you have two guys when you have a maximum of one guy on the floor who's not a shooter. And Rose to me is not a shooter. So if he doesn't,
Right.
one thing I want to see from him is just to attack the paint and not um, shoot so many threes like he did in early in the season last year.
Yeah, I agree. He needs to cut that down.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I think that they'll be fun to watch for sure.
yeah. Um, they also signed Ron Baker and the trade for Justin Holiday seemed good too. He looked Justin looked okay at summer league as well, but Baker gives them that potential shooter.
Right. All right. Sounds good. We should move on.
to the Milwaukee
Next,
Bucks.
right.
They're at
Let's see. They
39.5.
excited. Yeah. And last year they won. Open it up. Oh man. They got 33 wins. Wow. So they're saying 4 wins upgrade from Delvedova, Teletovic, Thon Maker, and Jason Terry. Oh man. Oh man. Dang, do I see 7 wins there? I don't. I'm going under, and I love Giannis, but from today's jokes that he made, uh, he needs to go to an improv show or some comedy school because that guy needs better jokes. And I couldn't believe that the media laughed with him to make him feel good. But anyway, that's besides the point. I like to let
Maybe they were laughing at him instead.
Yeah, that's true. I like Teletovic, the addition of Teletovic. I like him a lot. Delvedova, he'll be a good backup for, I mean, he'll be a good role player for him. And Thon Maker, definitely a good pick, but he's going to be raw. So very, very raw. So I don't think he's going to be anything big. Also, I believe Middleton got injured.
Yeah, looks
So
like he's out for 70 games. So if this team I mean, he'll be back for the very end of the season, possibly, and if this team makes the playoffs.
yeah, I think this team is a team that I think they. Oh man, they just have a trade for someone?
Yeah, they traded for Michael Beasley to help with the loss of
Right,
Chris Middleton, and they traded
right.
Tyler Ennis.
Which is actually a pretty good player for. I don't know. I think that was kind of too much for Beasley, but I like Tyler Ennis. But I think this is a team that might do a little bit of trading during the year with Griffin Rowe. I don't think it's working out like the way they wanted him, but I think Giannis is going to have a great year. Uh, I think he's gonna be a stud this year. Just needs to get shooting a little bit more, man. But that's what he's missing. And also as a team, the Bucks need shooting. They got. I think they're starting. Williams. Uh, Giannis. They have Monroe, and they're 3 and 4.
Jabari probably at the four or maybe
Right.
three. Yeah, it's tough. Maybe at the three and Henson. I don't know. This is
I don't know. But yeah, so they need some more shooting. I don't see them winning 39 games. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you here. I'm taking the under. I do like Jabari Parker. I think he looked good as the near the end of the season. Giannis just looked fantastic playing point guard. I think that's why they should play him permanently. And I think they should. I think Dellavedova is going to be a good player that who could kind of guard point guards and allow Giannis to run the offense, and then Dellavedova could do the dirty work and guard the point guard and be that spot up shooter. So I like that a lot. Um, but because of Middleton, losing Middleton was huge, and I think
Yeah.
it's gonna show for this team. I don't think they're going to win that many games. I think this team misses the playoffs, and I think this team also really wants to get rid of Greg Monroe because of his uh, defensive incapabilities. And I just don't see. I don't know how many teams really want him.
Yeah.
Shooting is also an issue with this team. I do like Thon Maker. I thought that was a interesting pick at 10, but he did look he did show some good signs in summer league, but overall he's not going to be able to help this team too much in his rookie year. So I'm going with the under.
Okay. Sounds good. Um, Moving on, we got the Orlando Magic. They are at 36 and a
There,
half. They won
yeah,
35 last year, and a whole lot of changes for them. I still don't know why they made the trade with Oladipo. That still baffles me. This guy was the best player from that one of the best players from the draft, And I mean, he's young and he can play defense, and he was averaging 16 points a game. So little puzzled from that, but they added a lot of good players. I mean, Orlando, oh man, this team is crazy. They they got Serge Ibaka from that trade when they traded Oladipo, and they said, yeah, that guy's not enough to have at PF center. We're gonna have Bismack Biyombo. Uh, Orlando, you guys also have Nikola Vucevic. I think he's pretty good too. Uh, I don't know. They just got a lot of weird pieces. They got Jeff Green, Jody Meeks, DJ Augustine. They lost a lot of players that really aren't that good. Um, so that's good. And Frank Vogel's their new coach, which he's in my top five coaches in the league for me. Uh,
Wow, interesting. That's
yeah,
high praise.
yeah, he's up there with Stevens, Pop, uh, Kerr, and Carlisle. I put him right there at the five. And I mean, he was really good with the Pacers. Took him to a lot of good playoff series with the Heat. I think just the coach alone is going to go over. I'm putting it as a lock. I'm going over for Orlando. They're going to get at least 37. They'll figure out their big man controversy with having too many big men, which is kind of weird because so many teams like the Kings and the Sixers are having, even though this is like a faster paced league now. But I like it. I like them going over.
This is one of the this was the team that I just had no idea what they were doing during the draft and during free agency. Like every move they made, I just did not expect it. Starting with their trade in the draft and then getting Bismack. Jeff Green was super strange. Um, and
Yeah,
I think this team is just honestly they're a mess. But if you look at it from a talent perspective, last year they were worse talent wise compared to this year. So they got better in terms of the players they got. They got better in terms of the coach they got. And last year they won 35 games. Um, so I don't think it's crazy to go over, and that's what I'm going to do. I think they're probably going to win 37, 38, 30. I don't know, man. I see them. I see them missing the playoffs, but going over 30, winning 37 games or a little bit more.
I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I think Vogel will will make it work. I mean, just look at the depth chart. Just looking at the depth chart itself, Alfred Payton and DJ Augustine is their point guards. Shooting guards, Evan Fournier, who's a pretty decent player. I like him a lot. Can do a little bit of everything. Was was almost I think runner up or one of the main names mentioned for most improved last year. And Mario Hazonia developing still. He's gonna have more minute. No, I don't actually know. Maybe more minutes, but because they don't have too much depth to 1-2. But small forward Jeff Green and Aaron Gordon. Power forward they got Serge Ibaka, and backup could be Aaron Gordon there too. Center Bismack and Nikola Vucevic. I mean, this team is stacked for depth.
They are. I think
And
the
Jody
talent.
Meeks at the 2-2. I
Yeah,
forgot to add him.
yeah. They do have him too. I don't know. I just there's something about this team about the cohesiveness, I guess, that I'm not sure about, and I'm just not a believer in Peyton. I think DJ Augustine is the best point guard on that team.
Oh wow, okay.
I think Peyton is a good. I think his role in the NBA is a backup point guard. Um,
I can see that.
they do have they do have Hazonia and Jody Meeks, but besides those two, I think shooting is going to be an issue with them.
Mhm.
Um, it just seems like in a league where everyone is trying to have a small ball for Orlando is doing the opposite. But in one respect, um, they got Bismack, who's a good rebounder. You could play Gordon at the three at times, but I think he's not a three. Um, this team has some good rebounders, so maybe they want to play bully ball and just offensive rebound
Yeah.
the hell out of some other teams. But I'm going to say because of the lack of shooting, they missed the playoffs. But I think we're both in favor that they're going to go over
Over.
what
I think
Vegas says.
they could even have a small ball lineup where it's like DJ at the one. The two will be Evan Fournier. So the 2 and 3 will be two out of the Evan Fournier, Hazonia, Meeks, and then their four will be Serge, and then five is Nikola. So that's not too bad of a small ball lineup. Some pretty decent shooting with Evan, Mario, and Jody at either pick two out of the for the 2 and 3, and DJ at the one. It's not too bad.
That's not too
They
bad.
can
I would
figure it out.
probably, yeah, you're right. I would probably play Bismack over Vucevic just because of defensive reasons.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
But yeah, I think you're right. They
that
could
team
have
will be
that.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, they let me make the playoffs. I like that team a lot. If I had NBA League Pass, I'd put them in my top five.
They might be. They might be. They're gonna be fun to watch, but I'm more like curious on how they are gonna play together than
Execute it. Yeah.
than their like actual style of play.
Okay, we got the Washington Wizards up next. They are at 42 and a half. Oh, it's one of those numbers where it's kind of hard to figure out. Uh, they won 41 last year. They said bye to their coach, Randy Whitman. Got in Scotty Brooks, ex Thunder coach. They got Ian Mahimi. I like him a lot. Good defensive big. And Trey Burke from the George Hill trade.
Actually, I think. Oh, it was a trade. My bad. Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. They're just an team to me. Um, can Bradley Beal finally play like more than 50 games, like more than 60 games? It's gonna be up to the health, but I mean they won 41 last year. I'll go. Man, it's tough. I'm gonna go with the. Oh man, give me what do you think?
This is a tough one for me because the problem with this team is always health. It's always
Yeah.
between it's especially Bradley Beal. Um, and actually Garrett Temple, who the Kings signed, was able to fill in okay when he for a few games when Beal was hurt.
Mhm.
Um, overall,
Do you
let's
trust the coach to win over 41?
so I wasn't a fan of Randy Whitman in the first place. I think Brooks is an improvement over that, but I don't think he was the best coach available. Um, of the they're going to be fighting for that eighth seed. I don't know if I could say they're going to make it. I kind of feel like they're going to be out of it. Like I think they're kind of like the 10th, 11th best team. I think they finished kind of where they were last year, and that's around the 41, 42 wins spot. So I'm going to go the under just because I don't think this team did enough to win. I think it does. They have more playing time experience with Markieff Morris, but
Mm,
they also lost Dudley, who was a good shooter for them, and this team also is a team that it just needs more shooting. And I think Bradley Beal will help with that. Kelly Oubre um, didn't look that much better in summer league. I think Otto Porter is going to start for them, and he's going to be okay. But this team really didn't improve much. They didn't do much. They just the biggest thing for them was the coach, and I
right.
don't think that's enough to help them win more than as many games as they won last year.
Yeah, this is a toss up for me. I'm gonna go with the over. I'm gonna disagree. Uh, I think Scotty Brooks is a pretty good coach. He kind of forgotten because of the everything that happened last year with Thunder overachieving, kind of. So I think I'm gonna go with the over. I think he'll develop Burke to become better player, and I think that hopefully they're a little healthier. And I like Ian Mahimi as the anchor down low, a lot better than Nene. So I'm gonna go with those reasons. I'm going over.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's a toss up for me
It's a
too.
toss up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't stay away if you're gonna bet. Like, don't bet on this one.
Yeah. We got the Chicago Bulls at 38 and a half. A lot of different things happened with this team. They got 42 and oh man, they lost Pau Gasol, they lost Justin Holiday, Etwan Moore, Noah Rose, Brooks, Calderon, Dunleavy, Cameron Bastow. Uh, they, that's just who they lost. Uh, who they got? They got Robin Lopez, Wade, Rondo, Denzel Valentine, who I liked a lot from the draft. It's a good pick. Isaiah Cannon. Uh, man, I don't even know where to start. Do you know where to start?
You got to start with Wade, I guess. I mean, he was the biggest signing they had, and that's like no one thought he was going to leave Miami, and um,
I think
everyone
are
thought he
they gonna
was
start?
bluffing.
They're gonna start Rondo, Wade, and Butler at the 1, 2, 3.
You got to, but what's the shooting percentage between those guys?
I don't know how they're gonna live with the shooting there. Yeah.
Plus, that like, if you have Robin Lopez at the five, I'm guessing you're going to put Mirotic at the four because he's the best shooter of all those guys, and it's still
Have to.
he's pretty inconsistent as a shooter.
Oh man, this one's a tough one. 38 and a half. I'm gonna go. Jimmy Butler's got to have a an elite season. He's got to really take over the team now. It's his team for sure. So Dwayne Wade's just there to kind of help him out a little bit. And Rondo, man, oh man, Hoiberg, can he handle this guy? Carl
I don't
couldn't.
know, man. Carl couldn't, yeah, for sure. I'm sure Doc was tired of him too.
Yeah. Oh man, are you going over under
What's their what did
38 and
Vegas
a
say?
half?
38 and a half.
They won
Oh,
42 last year.
man, I'm gonna go over just and I'm not feeling good about it. This is another team that could possibly sneak into the playoffs, but like Washington, but I'm just gonna say that the lack of shooting is what's gonna prohibit them from doing so.
Yeah.
Um, it's tough. I wasn't very impressed, but I was impressed with Bobby Portis's performance in the summer league. You kind of expected him to play well as a second year guy, and he did for sure. Isaiah Cannon helps with the shooting for sure, so I would want to play him sometime as much as possible. Doug McDermott. So the thing is, Wade. You have to limit Wade's minutes in the first place, right? So I would try to. I don't think you're going to have Rondo, Butler, or Wade sit or come off the bench. So I think you have to find creative ways to kind of stagger them and play them at different times. And that's going to be interesting in the fourth quarter when you need more shooting and you don't and you kind of want to play someone else. So I could kind of see Isaiah Cannon with Butler and Wade instead of Rondo, and that being a better lineup for the Bulls in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. It's weird because they have some shooting, but it's kind of like off the bench, kind of
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really starting. So, man, I mean, the defense wasn't that good last year. Pau Gasol, Rose, Noah didn't do much. Calderon. So I'm gonna go that they'll have some better defense. I think Wade, Butler, and Robin Lopez. Man, I don't even know if they have better D. Rondo and Mirotic
I think they
is
do.
rough.
I
I
think
think
they
they
do
do.
have better defense, but it's not like I don't think they're a top 10 defensive team, and I don't
Yeah.
think that's the priority of the coach either.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over. They won't have Derrick Rose shooting a bunch of dumb shots for 3 months. So I think I'll go over that they'll get like 39, 40 wins and maybe sneak in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're both in the same boat there.
Yeah. Next up we have the Detroit basketball. They got 45 and a half, and let's see, 44 wins last year. Um, I like their team. They got so I'm gonna go with the over on this one. I like they didn't really do much during the off season. They didn't lose much either. They got a lot of they got a lot of young players. They got Ray McCollum, Ish Smith, and Boban as well from the Spurs. So I mean they have some young talent, but I mean it's mainly going to be back to um, to Andre Drummond and Tobias Harris, and those guys going to kind of lead the team. And I love the coach Stan Van Gundy, so I think he'll make it work. They still Contavious Caldwell Pope. I love that guy. Can play solid D and play and shoot 3 pointers. Stanley Johnson's gonna have another year in development. Morris and so I don't know. I like the team. I like them to win 2 more wins. They'll have more of Tobias Harris too. So yeah,
Yeah, they're one of the most highest spending teams in the league. And it doesn't really it doesn't really completely show in the roster, but at the same time, this team does seem like it has better depth, and that was one thing that was lacking last year. Um, I
still need
I
shooting
because
though.
of yeah, definitely. I think shooting is an issue. You have Contavious Caldwell Pope, who's a good shooter. Hopefully, Stanley Johnson can improve his shooting. I think that's one of the reasons why they drafted Henry Ellenson, and I think they're hoping he could be that um, Ryan Anderson type player um, to the Andre Drummond big type of center. Um, because Henry Ellenson isn't a good rebounder and he's not really good on defense. But you're right because Tobias Harris didn't have a full year under them, and I think they're gonna mesh better with him. Ish Smith was an upgrade at the backup point guard position. I'm gonna take the over two. I think they improve. I'm a big fan of Stan Van Gundy. I think he's a really good
Mhm.
coach. I'm gonna take the over here, but it's close, and I'm not super confident saying that, but at the same time, I expect Stanley Johnson to improve, and I expect their team chemistry to improve as well.
Yeah, I think they'll be fun to watch too. They I know they didn't get any wins against the Cavs, but they played some tough games against them. So
Yeah,
uh,
it's funny you say that because the last game, game four, was the closest game, and it was that game where they started to go small. And I don't remember the exact lineup they used, but I think it was with I want to say it was with Drummond on the bench, and
oh wow.
this team like played a lot better for some reason with him off the bench. But maybe it was just a fluke. Um, but let's see. I'm curious. This team is interesting to me. I think they're a playoff team. But I wouldn't bet on this on them going over for sure.
Right. Um, yeah. I mean, yeah. So moving on, we got the Indiana Pacers. 45 wins last year, and their over under this year is 43 and a half. They lost, one of my favorite coaches in the league, Coach Frank Vogel. They got Nate McMillan to replace him. They lost George Hill in the trade. They gained Jeff Teague, though. That's pretty good. Al Jefferson, probably replacing Mahimi. Kevin Seraphin, Thaddeus Young. I'm going to go with the over. Uh, they lost Solomon Hill, which is kind of sucky because I think he had some good potential, like same with that Ian. But I think they'll go over. I don't like Nate McMillan that much, but he has the experience, and they have a lot of good like role player. I like Thaddeus Young. I think he's a good role player. I like Jeff Teague. Obviously, Paul George should have another good season. He'll have some help this year offensively. Jeff Teague, Jefferson will help him out. uh, Aaron Brooks. Guys, I think these are good like players around him that can like I think they can play defense and offense. So other than Al Jefferson, I don't think he's that good on defense. But
No.
yeah, so I think like I don't know, they aren't going to be as good defensively, but I think that they can manage.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you in the same boat. I'm gonna take the over as well. Um, there's nothing wrong with George Hill, and I think that George Hill was actually a better fit with Monte than Jeff Teague is, and I think that's part of the reason why they've been exploring trade for Monte. There was some rumors about Monte for Rudy Gay, but that those seem to have died down now.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think Monte coming off, if you could convince him to come off the bench, which I'm not sure that's possible, that would be his best role. Miles Turner, I'm a fan of. I think he was one of the better rookies last year, and I think he's going to improve as well. This team probably still needs some shooting, like we've mentioned with a lot of these teams in this part of the conference um, need. You kind of wonder who's going to step up with them for them shooting wise,
Mhm.
um, because George Hill is probably a better shooter than Teague, though I'm not sure by how much. I'm a little bit. I think this team's going to go over, and I think I'm not. I do like Frank Vogel. I'm probably not as high as you are, but I do. I think Coach Nick McMillan was a good coach when he um, coached those Portland and I think Seattle teams back in the day. And
Right.
it's not like they have a completely different coaching staff. Most of the coaches that Vogel had have stayed with the Pacers, including McMillan, who was there last year. So, say, this team probably didn't improve that much, but they got deeper with Aaron Brooks and Al Jefferson. And I think Teague, even though he might not be the best fit for this team, he gives them a new type of dimension um, than George Hill did.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're both over for
Uh,
the
both
Pacers, right?
over for the
Both over.
Pacers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed on that. Um. Let's see. We
Next, I
got
think we have
Miami.
Miami Heat. What have they projected at?
Um. They got 36 and a half.
Wow, that's a big drop off from 48.
Yeah. Well,
They had 48 wins last year. I mean, you kind of expected a drop off with losing Wade. It would be a different story if Chris Bosh was playing for them, but like we found out today, Bosch will not put on a Heat uniform this year. At least it looks like his career with the Miami Heat is over. Those are Pat Riley's words, um, and so that's kind of crazy to think about. There's no more Wade, there's no more Bosch with Miami. This is a different team, and you kind of expect them to um, drop. I don't know. I don't think they're a playoff team either. With even with Dragic and Hassan, who are their two best players, they matched the Nets' offer for Tyler Johnson, which was very surprising to me. I did not expect that, but it was an interesting move nonetheless. And I thought that Pat Riley would just let him go and he would focus on signing someone else in the next free agency session. So at 35, you said, what are they at? 36?
36 and a half.
Ah, man, that is tough. It's just so hard. You know, it's funny because Wade actually he he was inconsistent, but they with his minutes, but he still helped them a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go under, man. I'm not confident about it, and it's kind of crazy to think that like Miami is gonna win less than 36 games. I don't feel confident saying it, but um, I'm just not impressed with their team. Are you gonna try to convince me otherwise? Because I'm not really sure right now.
This is going to be a lock for me. I'm putting this as a lock for them to go under. I think Pat Riley is extremely smart, and I think this is a tank season for him. Uh, I think they're just going to tank hard. Is Dragic expiring
No,
or no?
he's there for 4 years.
Or do they just renew his contract?
Yeah, he's there for a while.
Okay. So they got Goran and Hassan locked up for the next 4 years. So I think they're gonna. I really see them tanking this year because I mean they all their players they got this year were mostly like ex Kings players. Bano, Wayne Ellington, James Johnson, Derek Williams. I mean I don't like any of these guys that much. They're just a bunch of role players. They got like Dion Waiters, and they got they still they're oh man, I'm forgetting Jimmy Butler 2.0 type player. What's the
Justice
two?
Winslow.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
guy he's gonna be a beast, and I think this is the year that I don't know if they'll tank, but I just see them like not being into it. I don't know, like I don't see Hassan or Goran leading this team, and East is kind of have more has more depth this year, so I think they're going to. Uh, get under 36 wins and try to get Winslow to kind of like to develop and hopefully become a good replacement, I guess, for Wade. And kind of funny, Wade went for like what $10 more million, $5 more million. I don't know what the difference was
yeah.
between.
If you're Pat Riley, you got to pay that money just because of
Yeah,
what Wade means to that franchise.
yeah,
And I don't know, like they're not in tanking mode, but they're not in winning mode either, and that's kind of the interesting thing about it. But let's say so Hassan and Dragic are your two best players. Who's the third best player on this team?
Winslow.
That's yeah, I'm thinking Winslow, but if that's the case, then I don't think this is a playoff team. Like I could see them winning more than 36 games. I'm gonna take the under still, but um,
Yeah, if
I
one of
don't
those,
think
if Hassan or Goran has an injury, they're pretty much like one of the worst teams in the league, kind of.
yeah. And the thing is, Josh Richardson was really helpful for them last year, but he has an ACL injury, and he's going to be out for a while now. So, and this is a team that is in the middle of nowhere at the moment, and I think Miami fans have not been they should not be happy with the offseason that they had.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're both on the under. It's a
Um,
lock for you.
yeah, lock for me.
I won't
Um,
go as far as the lock, but I feel you for sure.
let's see. We got Atlanta next. Um, let's see. They're at
43 and a
40.
half.
You're right.
43 and a
They
half and
lost.
last
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh yeah, last year they won 48. They replaced Al Horford with Dwight Howard and replaced Jeff Teague with Jarrett Jack. I think they got yeah. In their trade, was it a pick that they got? I
For
forgot who they
Jared
got.
for Jared Jack or for oh for Jeff Teague it was a three-way trade. So George Hill went to the Jazz for the Jazz pick, which turned out to be Tarian Prince, and they gave up Teague to Indiana.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So yeah, it was
Okay.
the Jeff Teague trade that led to them picking the pick, who was Prince.
I see. Um, yeah, man, this one's tough. Um, Twain Prince, yeah. Uh, I'm gonna go under, and I don't really like this Atlanta team anymore. I like Bazemore a lot. He's he's a really good player. I think hopefully he has a really good. I mean, they spent $470 million on him, so hopefully, he you know is worth that much this season. But I like Dennis to it's his team now to start, and Dennis Schroeder and Millsap is still there. I don't know. It's just the same team over and over again. They got Dwight. I don't think that's good. I think he's just annoying and he doesn't play up to his potential. We'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna go under.
Give me the over and make it a lock. This team won 48 games
Oh,
last year. Give me the over. I see them winning over 44 games for sure. I don't I do I think Al Horford is the better player between him and Dwight Howard, but Dwight might in a way be a better fit for this team because this team always in the playoffs they struggle to rebound the ball. And if you have a healthy Dwight, that won't be a problem with you. Now, spacing isn't the best when you have Millsap. His range does extend to the 3 point line, but he's not a great 3 point shooter. So that's might be an issue. But you still have Bazemore and Corver, and so that's plenty of shooting there.
yeah.
I do like Cephalosha, a healthy Cephalosha. Torian Prince was one of my draft crushes. Also, I didn't think he was going to go that high, but I don't think it was the wrong pick by any means. DeAndre Bembry also gets a lot of praise. I don't know how much help he's going to give them in this year, but I do think this team it didn't get much worse last year. Even if you think they're worse, even if you think they're worse than the 48 win teams that they were last year with Dwight, I don't think they're 5 games worse.
Right. I see that.
I think in a way they could possibly be a better playoff team. I don't know about their regular season wins. I think they're about the same, 48.
Yeah.
Like I could see them in the 47 to 50 uh, game range, but in the playoffs, I do expect them to do better. I don't think they'll beat the Cavs, but I think they'll be better.
Yeah. They're probably a top five team as well in the East, and I don't know. It's just gonna be. We're gonna see how far Dennis and Bazemore will lead the team. Those two are gonna be the guys. I mean, yeah, Paul Millsap's there, but he'll always have his like what 17 points, 10 rebounds, 9 rebounds, whatever. He'll get his due, but it's time Dennis and how much they could step up. It's
I
really gonna
think,
be down to them.
yeah, you're right. I mean, this is Paul Millsaps is the best player on the team, but Dennis is it's going to start from him. And if he outplayed Teague in the playoffs last year against the Celtics at least, and so and the Cavs actually, I think he played better against the Cavs than Teague did. So um, there's still some issues with his turnovers, and I don't like him in the fourth quarter. He just turns the ball over way too much for my liking. But at the same time, I see them winning about as many games as they won last year.
Okay, okay. We got the Boston Celtics next. They got, I think that's a big one, 51 and a half. Oh, man. This one, they got a lot of stuff going on. So they lost Evan Turner and Sullinger. They gained
They
Al
got Horford.
Horford. That's the big acquisition of the summer for them. They got Jalen Brown from Cal at the third spot, and a couple of draft picks here and there. Um, that I really don't know too much information on, but I know Jalen Brown. I think he's going to be a good player for them for that the three spot to come off the bench. He can do a little bit of everything. I think his shooting still needs to improve a little bit, but Al Horford's obviously the big signing. 51 and a half is a lot. They won 48 last year. Yeah, you see a 3-win difference? Probably. I think they'll get 52 wins, so I'm going to go on over. But I think they're going to be fun to watch. Defensively, they're still just insane defensively. Bradley Stevens, top five coach. Smart's going to be better. Avery Bradley's still there. They have, Jay Crowder. The one thing is that they need some more scoring from the perimeter, some more shooting. Uh, Bradley's good, but he doesn't play have that many minutes sometimes. Well, now that they got rid of Turner starting, right?
Yeah, I mean Bradley's going to start for them. I think he started last year too, but you're right, this team does need more shooting. Jalen Brown. That's why I thought they were going to go Buddy Hield at 3 because he seemed like the more natural fit. He was the more ready NBA player. Um, but
Yeah.
Jalen Brown was the more that had the higher ceiling, I guess. But I still would have gone with Chris Dunn or Buddy Hield. But you're right. This team does need more shooting. Gerald Green kind of helps with that, but I think they're going to need some guy like RJ Hunter to step up because shooting was a problem with them last year in the playoffs, and Jay Crowder was a good shooter in the regular season, but against the Hawks he struggled. And when the team lost Bradley, you could see that they needed more offense because Isaiah Thomas just has to carry the load on offense a lot. And if you look at the plus and minus without Isaiah on the floor, it's kind of crazy. So um, I also thought that Terry Rozier was one of the best players in Vegas during the summer. And so if he could step up and give Isaiah a break, that would be pretty helpful. But give me the over for this team. Al Horford is just too good
Okay.
for them not to improve by much, and they won 48 games last year. So I expect them to win about 4 games more. But
One more.
yeah, I could. It's give me. I think I see them winning about 52 games.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think we're both going over. Um, yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. Isaiah's gonna offensive weapons with him now with all Horford, so they're gonna be taking the offensive load. Yeah, Isaiah was a an all star last year.
Yeah, and I see him being an all-star again this year just because he's going to have to do the same thing again. But Al
Yeah.
Horford is going to average about 17 points per game, and that's gonna help them for sure. And the one thing they missed was a low post presence. And even though they
Yep,
lost Sullinger, give me Al Horford over any day.
absolutely. All right, here we go. Again, the Toronto Raptors next. We get 49 and a half for them. Um, I think they actually took Sullinger from Boston and lost Bismack pretty much in free agency. So, um, man, they won 56 and it's only 49 and a half. They still got Lowry and DeMar at the 1-2. Um, but defensively, I mean, defensively is still great, but I don't like their bigs, 4 and 5. So, man, this one's tough. Jonas, really, I really want to see him improve. He still hasn't had that big leap yet that I want to see. Damari Carroll, I think, was injured for a lot of the year. Um, it's going to be close. This one's tough for me. I'm going to go over. I mean, they won 56 last year. They just lost Bismack. I mean, that's going to be big defensively, but Sunger is still a solid player and can shoot the three a little bit. It'll give him some. Uh, it'll be it'll be good. I don't know. I'll just go over.
Yeah, this is also kind of tough for me. I do think this team regresses a little bit. I don't think they're going to win 56 games for sure. So I think Vegas has them about right at 49 and a half. I do think Sullinger is going to help them. They did need a good, better four who could kind of shoot, and Sullinger will be able to do that. Um, but Bismack was just so big for them, and I don't disagree with them not signing him or re-signing him because he just got a boatload of money that I don't think he was worth because he just can't shoot. But
Yeah,
uh, I thought Pirtle was a good pick and a good player, but I thought it would have been better if they had gone Sabonis, and I think he would have been a better four for them. Um, so overall, besides Bismack, Pirtle, not signing Bismack, getting Pirtle and Sullinger, this team didn't really do much. Um,
Right.
and that's why it's kind of tough for me. They're kind of around that 50 range. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and put them at like 51, 52, along with the Celtics. Though I think the Celtics are the better team. But the Raptors didn't get much worse. So I just think they regress a little bit, but they're going to go over for me in terms of Vegas odds.
All right, so we go both got the over for this one.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
all right, sounds good. We get the Charlotte Hornets next, and they are at uh, let's see here. Where are they?
39 and a half.
Okay, 39 and a half. They won 48 last year. So, yeah, they're gonna go down when they lose Al Jefferson, Courtney Lee, and Lynn, and they didn't really get good. I mean, they got Hibbert, Brian Roberts, Sessions, and Bellinelli, and I didn't like that Bellinelli trade for them. Oh man, this one is tough. I'm gonna go under. I think they overachieved last year. Except Kid Gilchrist, Michael Kid Gilchrist should be coming back, right?
Yeah, he's going to be back and he's going to be healthy. It seems like, and so that's going to be a big boost for them.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Hopefully, can he just get a shot for God's sake? But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go under on this. I think defensively they're gonna be like really good. I think this is like they're gonna be even better out defensively than last year. But offensively, I don't think they're gonna be as good. And I think that they're gonna have a lot of problems on offense. And Kemba Walker is gonna take a big load. So I'm gonna go under.
Give me the over. I'm close to saying it's a lock, but I just can't. I can't get myself to do it. Um, I agree with you. This team got worse, but the thing for Kemba is I want another like combo point guard that could play along with him, and
Yeah.
that's why they signed Ramon Sessions, but he's not Jeremy Lin, and I think that's going to be big for them. But I'm a big Steve Clifford fan. I think he's an excellent coach. I don't think losing Al Jefferson is that big a deal because he was hurt part
Yeah.
of last year too. I do think this team could use more shooting. You could never have too much shooting, it seems like. Um, but Marco Bellinelli, he's on a cheap contract. I didn't like the trade either, but there wasn't anyone in free agency that they could have afforded. So I think that's why they were willing to trade the pick for him and then and help with the shooting issue. I didn't like the Roy Hibbert signing, um, but one guy that I think is going to help them this coming year, and the reason it's one of the main reasons I have them over is because of Jeremy Lamb, and I think he's going to step up and help them with their shooting. They were able to, and the fact that MKG is also healthy and going to give them a boost. Marvin Williams and Batum with Kaminsky, there's still plenty of shooters on this team. I think
Mhm.
Cody Zeller is going to have to play a lot of minutes at the five because I just don't want Roy Hibbert to play that many minutes. Or you could play Frank at five, but then you don't have enough rebounding. I think, in my opinion. So you could play Frank and Batum. That would work okay because Batum is a good rebounder. Give me the over for this team though. I don't think they'll be going to be as good as last year. I see them as a first round uh, playoff team exit, but I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win over 42 games.
Okay. Damn, that's pretty good. Uh, okay. Let's see. We got up next is the. Oh, we got one
Cavaliers.
left.
I think we just have the Cavs left.
Oh man, saving the champions for the last. We got the 56 and a half when they won. Um, how many did they win last year?
They won 57 last year. This is Vegas has them winning about just the same as much as last year.
I'm gonna go under, and I'm gonna lock it in. I'm going
Lock it in.
under. Uh, I think
You
they're going
doubt
to kind of
LeBron. How dare you doubt
no.
LeBron?
I'm not down him. I think they're gonna rest him a lot. I think they're just gonna go on cruise control, let LeBron rest the whole year, give him 34 minutes a game. I'm just kidding. They're not gonna give him that low. Like give him 35, yeah, maybe 34 minutes a game, and just let them get the 50 wins. I mean, who's their biggest rival to get the number one spot? Boston. Even if Boston gets the home court, I think the Cavs can still beat them in um, in the
Conference
playoffs.
finals.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're not gonna worry about this regular season thing. Just cruise control to the playoffs and think and have like 8 months to think about how to play the Warriors in the finals. That's really all they got to do is make the playoffs and think about how they're going to do the think of strategies to beat the Warriors in the finals because they're going to go to the finals. They're going to play the Warriors. It's going to be the third time that we're going to see the rematch, and I don't know if Cleveland can do it. I mean, I've told this to Rod. It's going to be. I think it's going to be Warriors win the shit this year. It's inevitable, but I don't know. I mean, if I'm if I'm Mr. Lou, I would just think just think of any strategy, or maybe I don't know. That's what I would do. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking there's no strategy to beat the Warriors. Just pray for some for them to just blow up inside, or for I don't know. There's no way they could beat the Warriors, in my opinion, unless an injury happens. I thought they. I actually, this is crazy, going to sound crazy, but I thought they should have dealt Kevin Love because it's crazy. If Kyrie Irving misses that shot, or if LeBron doesn't get that block and the Warriors win that game, I think Kevin Love gets traded. And I think because of that one play or those three plays that happened or whatever, Kevin Love is still a Cavalier. And I just don't think I mean what you said is absolutely correct. The one thing this team has to focus on is beating the Warriors. And this team knows that Kevin Love is just he's not fit to play the Warriors. Like he's the one guy that I'm just worried about defensively. And granted, he did look a lot better defensively against the Warriors, and everyone's going to remember that play he guarded Steph at the end. Um, but I thought this team could have used more wing players, and they got Mike Dunleavy, which will help with shooting.
Right.
But Richard Jefferson is kind of old still, but let's just assume he's going to continue his great play from the playoffs last year. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the if it's Cavs versus any other team, I'm not worried about. But just because of the Warriors, I think what's going to happen is they're going to start off kind of slow, or they're going to have a slump in the middle of the season. Everyone's going to panic. LeBron's going to go on his vacation, like you said, uh, and this team is going to be talked about a lot. But then come playoff time, they're going to step it up, and they're going to make the finals, but they're going to lose in the end, I think. Um, but yeah, back to the. I never answered. I guess if they're going over or under, I'm going to take the under just because they're going to rest more.
Yeah.
Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went over. Real quickly, I know I've been talking a lot, but I like K Felder. I thought he was a good pick, and even though they lost Dellavedova, I think he'll be helpful. I don't think he's going to be as good as Delhi was last year, but at least he will be somewhat helpful.
Yeah, they got also Chris Anderson. Interesting addition. I don't know. I mean, I guess they need some defensive inside to help with Love, but yeah, it's they. I'm just gonna be trying to think of ways for them to beat the Warriors for the whole season. That's gonna be what I'm gonna do. LeBron's got to be thinking about that for the next 6 months, and I don't know if they're. I mean, I don't think they're gonna be able to do it, but you know, try.
Yeah, that's the best thing you could do with any team. I mean, with the war against the Warriors, is try your best, and you never know. Then hope for a Draymond Green suspension or something, because
Yeah,
it's happened before. Um,
yeah,
I do think this team needs more wing players. I'm curious to see that if they do slack off in the middle of the season, will that encourage them to go out and make a trade for some wing players or get someone like the Channing Frye type of move that they did last year, and
right.
if they are able to get someone like who's impactful for them in the
Like
middle
Ray
of the
Allen.
season. Yeah, I mean, man, that would be helpful. I mean, you've heard of the Ray Allen rumors to the Warriors, right? That's
Right.
yeah,
That's
that would be
scary.
scary. Yeah, but let's see what happens. I think it'll be exciting nonetheless. I'm less excited to see who wins the championship, but
Right.
I'm more excited to see
Just watching
kind of
basketball.
just watching basketball, yeah, and just watching like some of the teams like we mentioned, like the Magic, the Sixers, like the other stories for the middle teams are more interesting to me than who wins because to me it's pretty clear who's going to win this year.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I think that wraps our Eastern Conference Vegas odds with the champions. Do you got any last words, Rob?
No, I can't wait for the season to start. It's about damn time.
Yeah, it's training camp now. A couple more weeks till we get the season going. So uh, don't put too much money, everybody, on these picks. But let us know if we made you some money. But that wraps it up. Thanks for listening. Kill the clock.